Hello, my name is Toeic. Today I'm talking about a short talk on weather. Number one, first the speaker said that day the sun was shining and it would be very warm. And finally, he said our warm weather continue the day after and no change spring. Number two, first the speaker said late that night they could expect showers, and finally he announced the rain would clear by the next afternoon. Number three, first the speaker said there were a slight change of rain that afternoon, and finally he said it could snow by evening. Number four, first the speaker announced that day was the hottest day on record. Next he said, because the wind were very strong that day, and it wasn't too uncomfortable. And finally he said, it was not a typical cool fall day. Number five, first the speakers announced at 2 o'clock that afternoon the temperature at the airport was 21 degrees Celsius. And finally he said that was uncommonly warm for the time of year, but no one complained. Number six, first the speaker announced a clear sky that day would be a welcome relief after the day before thunderous showers. And next said, although it would be a bit warmer than the day before, a temperature would remain cool throughout the day. Finally, he suggested watching out for the more rain and colder temperatures the day after, but no snow yet. Number seven, first the speakers chatted, putting away their umbrellas and going outside to enjoy the sunshine that day because the clouds were finally gone. Next he said it looked like they had a full week of sun ahead of them. Finally he said no more rain expected until after the weekend. Number eight, first the speaker announced all local beaches were closed for the weekend due to dangerous winds. And next he said besides the wind, the weather would remain cloudy all the weekend, and temperature would fall below freezing that night. And finally he said there were a slight chance of snow after midnight. Number nine, first the speaker announced that day's high temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit were average for the time of year. Next said the record high for the date were 90 degrees and the record low is 55. And next is wanted to know what was not average was the unusual amount of rain they had this fall. And finally he said today was clear and they hope the sunshine would continue all week. Number 10, first the speaker announced that had been the rainiest spring ever with the record rainfall the week before of 5 inches. And next he said rain continued that day and through the rest of the week, and then they would have cloudy sky all weekend. And finally she chatted not worry because summer sunshine and clear skies were just around the corner. Number 11, first the speaker announced that pollen count hit a record high that day. Next he said it was the last that high 10 years ago, and the last of precipitation had caused the pollen to remain in the air longer. And the next he said that means millions of area residents would have difficulty breathing and would experience symptoms similar to a cold or bronchitis. And after that he said no new rain was expected for the next 2 weeks, and he suggested staying in an air-conditioned environment and wearing a protective mask when outside. Finally, he said the day after the crowd will be even higher. Number 12. First, the speaker said cyclone strength winds impeded communications between the islands that day, and next said that condition unexpected at that season would prevail for the next 36 hours. And finally, the National Coastal Protection Agency warns of birds regardless of size to remain in port. Number 13. First, the speaker announced showers and thunderstorms were scattered over the Pacific Northwest, while the Central and South Pacific coast continue to enjoy fair skies. Next, she said, pleasant as the sunshine was, the south region could use the weather of each north neighbor. And finally, he said it had gone 3 months without any precipitation. Thanks for listening.